In knowing about sex offenders and their crimes, we seek understanding of these people and of their offenses. These stories help us understand the minds and motivations of potential sex offenders who don't even know what they are about to do. Because of this, no one who claims to care about victims of sex crimes can justify turning a deaf ear to the stories of the offenders we know. The offenders we know can help us to understand and help those headed toward offending. So your friends didn't turn on you?
No.
They didn't hate you?
No.
They weren't embarrassed?
They were not embarrassed. They were more concerned what made the cost for my offense.
Well, the reason I ask is because a lot of guys at the time of their offense, in fact, I interviewed somebody not so long ago where his family walked away from him. I mean, his own children pretty much let go of him. And it was, as a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, it was the same crime as yours. Only it didn't even involve a real victim. It was just a scam, or what do they call it, a sting operation set up by the cops. So in your case,
they were mostly trying to get the details before they make an informative decision. Also.
Okay, so they wanted the details, but they never walked away from you.
No.
Well, how did you find such loyalty in your life? I mean, really.
It was just by the grace of God, because even the person, one of my best friends that was there, and now he's the one who bailed me out.
Well, again, not to harp on this, and I'm not trying to be, mean or anything, but looking back on it, you were a drunken pig.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, how does a guy who's drinking like that even have friends? I'm actually surprised you had friends who cared about you as much as you're saying.
I don't know, because sometimes I still think about it and of those events right there and wonder why they stuck with me. I mean, because they could have said no, because they were not family members. They were just friends.
Well, you bring up another whole issue, and that's this business about family. Now, has your family always been close before this?
Actually, I have no family here in Reno. Every single one lives in Chicago, in the Chicago area. And yes, they've been, from what I can recall from my youth, we've been pretty close. I mean, it's like the typical hate, love each other, fight, have fun, have laughs.
In the years leading up, now you left Chicago, joined the Marines.
Yes.
And then your family, did they stay in touch after you joined the Marines?
For a bit.
Were they disappointed you went into the military?
Yes, they were pretty disappointed.
What did they want you to do?
They want me to just stay home in Chicago, rent an apartment, get married, work in a warehouse like they have. And I wanted something different.
Okay, so leaving was something of an act of disloyalty.
Yes.
Okay, so you left, you joined the Marine Corps, and you were in for how long?
4 years.
Did your family ever come around?
Oh, no. Never.
So you're pretty much, after you joined the Corps, you were pretty much on your own as far as your family is concerned.
Oh, yes, basically. I mean, boot camp and during those times, I didn't ride home at all whatsoever.
And that's when you started drinking, after you joined the Corps?
Yes, and that was my first drink when I was 18 years old.
Okay.
And actually started drinking heavily.
Okay, so now that the offense is over, it's been 4 years, does your family all know about the offense?
No, not every single person knows. The only two people that know about my offense are my oldest nephew and one of my nieces.
But you have a mother and how many siblings?
I got 9 sisters and 3 brothers.
None of them know?
No, none of them know.
And how many aunts and uncles?
I got 2 uncles and 2 aunts, and none of them know either. Mostly, I haven't talked to them because I don't feel too open with them as I was before, because it's been several years, almost a decade, since the last time I saw them, and the communication between us hasn't been that great.
Are you afraid they'll think you're a monster for committing a sex crime?
Yes.
Okay.
That, and there has been sexual abuse in our family, so I do not know how that's going to go along with everybody also.
You mean, are you saying you're afraid that they'll think of you as the same as the person who abused them?
No, not that I abused them, but I was also abused by some family members.
Oh, you were a victim as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I forgot that since our last interview.
So I don't know how everything's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be fine and dandy, or like, oh, you're a sex offender, you got caught. Maybe we should break up relationships with each other. I mean, I don't know how it's going to go.
Has your family always expected more from you? Or?
Yes, they have always expected more from me.
Well, are you saying like you were kind of the golden child, the one that everyone expected to succeed? And
yes.
Oh, and then look what happens.
Yeah.
So you didn't send home newspaper clippings from the arrest, or
no, not at all.
Yeah. How's your sex life these days? It's been 4 years since your offense. Are you dating anybody?
No, I'm not dating nobody. I've been several dates here and there, and the sex has been going on here and there.
The sex has been going on? You mean you've been sexually active with some of the women you've dated?
Yes.
Some or all?
Some.
Okay. So just wanted to know. Now, and I know there are dozens of elderly men out there who want to know as well. So, so when you've and plus all the studio crew, they all want to know.
Oh yeah.
So your sex life, your romantic life, has that changed since before the offense?
Yes, it has changed way dramatically. Now I'm kind of holding in more of what I want in life. Before I knew maybe like, we'll see what happens, go with the flow, we'll let the emotions, the happy feelings go by. If it doesn't work out, I'll kick the girl to the side, or she'll kick me to the side, go our own way, cry for 3 years, get over it, go on. But now I'm just trying to home in more into what I want from a partner. A family, compassion, trustworthy, basically someone perfect. For me, it would be perfect in a certain way.
Perfect for you.
Perfect for me.
Do you really think a woman like you're describing would ever want to be with somebody convicted of a sex crime?
It'll be hard to find. I can't say yes and no, because every single woman is different. But I believe there's somebody out there, yes, for me.
That's faith. So some people might think you're a monster. Maybe you thought did you think you were a monster after you got convicted of this?
Every single day when I woke up and looked myself in the mirror to shave.
Oh my gosh. Has that changed at all?
Yes.
When did it start changing?
About 2.5 years ago, when I started realizing that when I realized that, like, yes, I might be a monster, but to society and to myself, but each time I look at myself in the mirror, I still see a human person. I still have the likeness of a human person. Why not can I be still a person like anybody else?
This is a message for all of those who want to be a part of the solution on Tell Me About Your Sex Crime. We're interested in interviewing you. If you're a sex offender, if you're a victim, or if you're a family member of a sex offender, we would like to interview you for our show. Please don't hesitate because of money or distance. We will find a way to overcome those difficulties, if at all possible. We may choose to do an interview over the internet, or perhaps we will fly you into our local area so that we can go ahead and pursue getting your message out to the entire world.